Not all war heroes carry guns. Some carry something far more powerful, unwavering conviction. That alone can save lives. And in Hacksaw Ridge, 2016, we witnessed the extraordinary journey of a man who proved exactly that. Directed by Mel Gibson and based on the incredible true story of Desmond Doss, this emotional, violent, and deeply inspiring war film reveals a type of courage rarely seen, the kind that stands tall without ever firing a single bullet. Starring Andrew Garfield in a career-defining performance, the film chronicles the journey of a quiet but determined Seventh-day Adventist who, despite refusing to bear arms, became one of the most decorated American soldiers of World War II. He didn't fight with bullets, he fought with belief. Let's walk through the carnage of war, the tension of moral conflict, and the soul of a man who never compromised his faith. Not for country, not for war, not even for survival. This is more than a war story. It's a story of a man who stood alone for peace, in the middle of one of history's most violent conflicts. The story begins in the peaceful, pastoral setting of rural Virginia. Desmond Doss grows up in a modest, deeply religious household. His father, Tom Doss, is a World War I veteran, a man burdened by the ghosts of past battles, prone to outbursts and soaked in alcohol, yet still a father trying to make sense of his pain. His mother, Bertha, is the rock of the family, gentle, prayerful, and unwavering in her belief that love is stronger than anger. Young Desmond and his brother Hal spend their days exploring the woods and getting into trouble like any kids would. But one day their roughhousing escalates, and in a flash of rage, Desmond picks up a brick and hits Hal in the head. Hal nearly dies. Desmond is shaken to the core. That moment, combined with his exposure to religious teachings, especially the commandment, "Thou shalt not kill," shapes Desmond's moral compass permanently. He interprets the verse literally, believing that life is sacred and violence is never justified. This isn't just a phase. As Desmond matures, he becomes a devout Seventh-day Adventist. He honors the Sabbath. He lives modestly. He helps others whenever he can. But most importantly, he vows never to touch a weapon, never to take a life, even in war. His resolve is strong, but it will be tested in unimaginable ways. When the Japanese attack Pearl Harbor, the world changes. Patriotism surges and young men across America line up to enlist. Desmond is no different. He wants to serve his country, but he also wants to stay true to his faith. He enlists as a combat medic. His intention is simple, to save lives, not end them. But the military doesn't see it that way. To most soldiers and commanders, a soldier who refuses to even hold a gun is a threat to the team. At boot camp, Desmond is mocked, harassed, and physically assaulted. His fellow trainees can't understand him. They see him as a coward. Sergeant Howell and Captain Glover view him as a liability. To them, he's putting lives at risk and undermining the unity they're trying to build. The pressure is relentless. He's called names. He's forced to run extra drills. He's even thrown into the brig for insubordination. When he refuses to train on Saturdays, the day of his religious observance, things get worse. Eventually, he faces a court-martial, but Desmond stands firm. He explains eloquently and passionately that his conscience simply won't allow him to kill. He doesn't want out of the army, he wants in, just not at the cost of his soul. With the support of his fiancée, Dorothy, and a crucial intervention by his father, who contacts a former commanding officer turned military judge, Desmond wins his case. He's officially allowed to serve, weaponless, as a medic. After basic training, Desmond's unit is shipped to the Pacific to join one of the most brutal campaigns of the war, the Battle of Okinawa. Their specific target, the Maeda Escarpment, known ominously as Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge isn't just a name, it's a nightmare. A sheer cliff face topped with fortified Japanese positions and a maze of tunnels and machine gun nests. To reach it, American troops must climb rope nets under fire and then survive a slaughter zone. Desmond's first experience in combat is horrifying. Explosions tear through lines of soldiers. Men are dismembered, screaming in agony. Blood muddies the earth. The enemy is invisible, firing from bunkers, popping up unexpectedly. Through this chaos, Desmond works tirelessly. He runs into open fire to reach the wounded. He kneels beside dying men, comforting them, patching wounds with shaking hands and whispered prayers. His uniform is soaked in blood, but none of it is his. When the American troops are forced to retreat, Desmond does the unthinkable. He stays behind, alone, armed with nothing but bandages, a stretcher, and a prayer. Night falls. The ridge becomes a graveyard. Bodies lie twisted and broken. Japanese soldiers patrol looking for survivors to execute. Desmond hides in the shadows, crawling from corpse to corpse, searching for life. And when he finds it, he acts. He lifts, drags, carries. He ties ropes, builds stretchers, and lowers wounded men over the cliff edge, one at a time. Below, his comrades watch in disbelief as wounded soldiers keep appearing, lowered by an unseen savior. Every time Desmond saves one man, he whispers, "Please, Lord, help me get one more." And again, he does. Hour after hour, in the pitch-black dark, Desmond performs miracles. Some of the men he saves had mocked him, others had bullied him. Now, in their most vulnerable moments, it is Desmond Doss who risks everything to bring them home. His hands are blistered, bleeding, his back aches, his legs shake, but he never stops. After the miracle of the rescue night, Desmond's unit undergoes a transformation. The men who once doubted him now believe in him fully. His courage has inspired them. His faith has emboldened them. The soldiers refuse to move forward without him. And so they wait, while Desmond prays. Once he's ready, they launch their final assault on Hacksaw Ridge. This time they move with focus and unity. Even under heavy fire, they push through. Desmond is everywhere, treating wounds, carrying the fallen, guiding the living. He's hit by a grenade. Shrapnel tears through his leg. Later, a sniper's bullet shatters his arm. Still, he keeps going. Eventually, the Americans overrun the Japanese positions. The ridge is taken. Desmond is finally evacuated, his body broken, but his mission complete. Back in the U.S., Desmond Doss receives the Medal of Honor from President Harry S. Truman. The president, known for his bluntness, says, "I consider this a greater honor than being president." Desmond is the first conscientious objector in American history to receive the nation's highest military award. But the real reward, for him, is knowing he stayed true to his values and still made a difference. The film closes with real-life footage and interview clips of the actual Desmond Doss. His voice is soft, his posture is humble, but his conviction remains as solid as ever. He saved lives not in spite of his faith, but because of it. Desmond Doss didn't win the war, but he won the hearts of those around him. And in a world drowning in blood, he offered a different path, one paved with mercy, not violence. Thank you for joining us on this extended journey through Hacksaw Ridge. If Desmond's story inspired you, as it has inspired millions, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful movie breakdowns. And remember, the strongest convictions are the ones you never compromise, even when the whole world is telling you to.